morning. I'm not sure because I tried to start and then my tripod started falling over. So I'm trying to figure out what it actually looks like. So give me a minute. Okay. Yeah, you can see what's happening. Pretty narrow, but we can work with it. Okay. Good morning again. This is May still. It's a little dark this morning. Seems like it's gonna rain. I want to be creative with more found objects that I have laying around my house. One of the things that I'm finding out in my yard are sticks. So I decided to do something with them. Now, one of the things that I will say is that if you have sticks you find in your yard, you need to wash them. You probably need to put them in your oven at a certain degrees, and I can't remember what that is, and bake them for a little while to make sure you're not bringing any critters in. But you can take these sticks, you can drill holes in them. I had some pre-drilled. I think my dogs chewed up my sticks, so I'm improvising a little bit this morning. But I know you can't really see this, but I have pearls, I have chains, I have different bits and pieces of rhinestone. This is story on one side. This is a leaf. It's just a bunch of odds and ends, and I made this one a while back, and I want to get back to making these. I used to make these, and I would do some custom things specifically for people. So this one, like I said, I drilled holes. I have little head pins with pearls on top. I have a wire hanger that goes through. But there are so many variations of this that we're going to talk about this morning. If you don't have the ability to use a drill, you can just put in these little, these aren't cup holders, these are eye hooks. So they come in different sizes depending upon, how big your piece is. That's an industrial one. If you really wanted to go like into a 2x4 or something. I'm also going to show you something that I use just cup hooks for, so that if you wanted to change out a message. So let's talk about this one first, because I did talk about using sticks as your medium that you're going to hold things onto, but you can use other things. This is a piece of frame, and it's an old frame that was broken. I think I only got two sides of this frame, but I really, really liked it. So I have put cup hooks into this ledge right here. I started something like you can start your hole with a ice pick or a nail or another screw, and then I just screwed these in, made sure they were all facing that way. And this is actually something that I am doing for somebody. I'm not remembering which way is up or which way. I know that you're looking at it this way. I hope that you can read it. When I get through, get a Y on there, and there I have joy. So I probably am going to embellish it with something more hanging down on either side. And then on this one, I'll probably put like how you would normally attach a picture. So But see, those can come off. If I wanted to put, more hooks on there, I could spell out, something for Christmas. I could change out the message. You just have to make sure that you have enough of letters. These are old sign letters that I bought at estate sales. I have these in different sizes and different colors, and I'm pretty limited to what I can spell with my letters. But that's something, and then you just hang that up, change out your message. I really like the stuff that's old, the stuff that has history, so that's one of the things that you can do if you don't want to use sticks from your yard. This is going to be a little harder to get in, but this is an old yardstick. You can find these in estate sales. You can find these, maybe, grandmothers still have these laying around. You never know. This one is a little thick. I would have to drill holes into this one in order to create something, or I could figure out if I could get little bitty hooks going in through here. So that's something that you could use. There's all kinds of board that you can buy at thrift stores. This is probably came from Home Depot. I don't know if you can tell, but I actually use this as a stir stick. So it's got some orange paint on it, but that might be kind of cute to cut that off and do something with that end. So if you're just using board, you can paint it, you can stain it. This is just little balsa wood that you can buy at, at the hobby stores. This is really easy to put holes with, and I'm going to show you one of the tools that I really like. This is a major tool. You can put snaps in, you can put rivets in with these edges, because you can just move these things and you can move the sizes. But on either side, I have a hole punch here and a hole punch here. This is a heavy duty hole punch. And if you were looking at those letters that I had, and you were wondering how did I get those holes in there, this is a broken letter that I probably won't be using for anything, so it's going to demo how you can buy these craft punches, and it will punch a nice hole. In plastic, I have punched in metal. This is a piece of copper that I etched. It's kind of patinaed up, needs to be cleaned up, but you can punch in that. I have punched a nickel with this thing. It has a lot of power. I thought I had a penny laying down here, but I don't. Not anything really heavy duty, but anyway, these are excellent. Even if you're not wanting to do anything with metal, you can change the depth of your punch. This is a 7/8, and this is a 3/16. I like this. Okay, here's this little metal thing. This will be hard, so I'll have to put it in there like this. If I want to, is that the big hole or the little hole? I'm going to go for the little hole. And I would put this in there, line it up wherever I want that, punch, and I could even put, I could paint this, I could put a word, I could decoupage a word on there, and then I have a hole so that I can attach that to something with that method. Now if I wanted an ugly hole, I can just take this and punch a hole in it, but I just love this tool. Okay, so enough about the tool. I don't know if you can tell, but I already pinched a blood blister on my finger this morning while I was trying to get some things ready to go. This is a little piece of balsa wood that I was playing around with design. I actually, I'm not going to be using this specific piece of wood, but just as I have those other boards that I sometimes paint on, I sometimes will try to figure out a design. So I'm going to use these little charms for a friend of mine who's a music teacher. It's going to say sing. I have this old necklace bracelet that I have in my treasure trove of junk, and I'm going to use that, I believe. I don't know. Now that I look at it, I'm not so crazy. This is too delicate to go with that, so I'll probably change that up. But that's one of the good things about kind of laying out your design. I also have a lot of other words that you could use for this if you were doing something small. These charms, like the one that I have on there that says, the one that I showed you that says story. These say heart, kiss, hug. There's another joy. Joy is one of my favorite words. So just raid your stash. I have old chandelier crystals. Some of them are real, some of them are plastic. I made this a long time ago, and I used to wear it. I'm not so crazy about it anymore. I'm thinking about incorporating it into a piece. This is an actual police whistle with a handcuff key. I keep saying that I'm going to use that in one of these, and it never quite comes to, fruition. But just, old pieces of jewelry, old necklaces, you can take them apart, string them together. There's actually a cute little heart in the middle of all this. I don't think that belongs there. I'll have to take that apart. I love adding keys. This little guy is one of my favorite things. He's a happy little key. It's an American Tourister key. So if you wanted to go with a natural thing, you could do shells. This actually was part of a keychain. So you can customize the message or the feeling with whatever you have laying around your house. All women seem to have broken jewelry. If you don't feel comfortable with some of the things, I think a bright bric-a-brac with a bunch of keys would be an awesome way to brighten something up. If you wanted to, you can just, string those through there, tie those, or if you're looking for something for kids to do, I think that this is a fun thing for them. But yeah, just find whatever you have in your garage, in your closet, that you're not using. Okay. So this was the one that I started this morning because it started raining when I was outside first thing this morning. I didn't really want to be out there. I don't have everything set up to do a perfect drill, so I said, yeah, I'll just use some cup hooks. Ring hooks. So those are, as you can see, I've already screwed one in there. I have this little bit of bling going on. It's a bell, but it doesn't really, it's not a very pretty bell. So I'm not putting it on there to create a wind chime effect. It's more of just a decorative effect. These can hang outside, depending upon what material you want it to last. So how I did that, I took one of my bigger cup hooks and I eyeballed nearly everything. You kind of do want these to be in a row so that they hang fairly straight. And I took this one and I just push it in there to create a little divot. And then I take, I think all I have left are the teeny tiny, pretty small little eye hooks. So I put that in there, and I'm just going to screw it in. The older I get, the harder it is to do these fine motor skills. I think I'm reverting back to being a 3-year-old sometimes in more ways than one. So you just screw that in there. So now you have something to attach your whatever you want to attach. And when it gets that close, I have a little trouble getting it in there, so I'll grab some needle nose pliers or something else and get it in as far as I want it to go. Okay. And so now I would decide, what I want to attach. If you're creating something like this, you want to make sure you probably do have a front and a back. So this is my front. So anything that I hang, I want to be cognizant of how it's going to look from one side to the other. I'm going to hang this chandelier crystal. So because I've already messed up and gotten a blood blister, I'm going to use the correct tools instead of trying to manhandle these rings. Now, that might look harder than it is. It's not that hard. These are pretty big, and what you do is you just twist it, like that to open it up. You put that through there, and I'm a very awkward artist, so bear with me. You would just put that on there so that everything is connected, and then you just twist it back together. And some people smush, some people do all kinds of things, and so there, I have started this piece. I really like this stick because it had this bend to it. Now, I had a kind of a scar down here on the wood that I didn't like, and I was like, what am I going to do to cover that up? So I took some wire and covered it up, so I'm going to do the same thing on this end. You can go to, you can buy all kinds of wire at thrift stores, not thrift stores, hobby stores. You can buy all kinds of wire at the hardware store. I bought a huge amount of wire at one time at the Ace Hardware store in DeSoto before it closed. And I've been using that for years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around this edge and kind of try to match what I got going over on the other side a little bit. Now, I'm putting this on this side of this knot so that I don't have to get it tight, but this will keep this from slipping off. So, wrap that a little more. And then I'm going to have to decide. Normally I would create a loop. Now you can tell I didn't think this all the way through. I have all this wire. It's way too much wire, but I can cut that off. And I want it to kind of sit like that. So that's one side. And I'm going to come over here and I'm on this end, and I'm just going to wrap it some more until I feel like it's going to attach. Okay, now I have left them there. Okay, so I'm going to cut that off. Now when you're using wire and you're cutting wire, you kind of want to watch out for this edge that I have right here. So I would take these pliers and I would make sure that this probably may not be the best pliers to do that, but I would kind of bury that, squeeze that in there, and you kind of want to rub, your finger over it, and sometimes I'll take a file and I'll file that so that it doesn't catch on anything. And for some reason, I don't think you can see the whole width of this piece because it's pretty long, but you can see that I have a really good start on something to hang. Something to work on, something to hang. I love a little bling outside. I love it when the light hits the chandelier prisms. And then 6 months from now, if I want to go out there, I can just, cut all these rings and take all this apart, use it for something else if I don't like it. So I know this has probably been a pretty quick creative moment, but I hope that you will think of some ways to be creative this week. If you do create some hangings based on these techniques, I would hope that you post those on our site. You can post them either attached to this video, or you can go to the Creative Moments group and post some stuff there. We've had a lot of activity recently, and I'm excited about that. If you ever have any questions, just make a comment and let us know. This doesn't show real well on the way that the video is set up, and then my worktop is pretty messy. But anyway, have a great afternoon, have a great week, and we will see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye. Love you.